Good day, student. We continue our lesson on general mathematics, WASSCE 2020. Today, we'll be discussing objective questions 11 to 20. As always, I want to share this important note with you. 1, keep track of time and allocate accordingly to each question based on the marks given. To ensure you understand the requirement of each question before attempting it. 3, review answers. Spare some time at the end to review your answers and make any corrections appropriately. 3, maintain silence during the exam to avoid disturbance or distract others during that exams. Let's continue our lesson. Question 1. The implication S moves to Y is equivalent to, we have a possible answer A, B, C, and D. Let's solve and simplify which of these solutions is the right answers. So the solution here is negative X moves to negative Y. What it means is that we are finding the opposite of these numbers. Question 12. The first term of a geometric progression, GP, is 3. And the fifth term is 48. Find the common ratio. So A, our possible answer B, C, and D. Let's look at the solution. Here, our first term A, which is represented as A, is given as 3. Our fifth term T, S is given as 48, and our common ratio R is what we are looking for. This is the data we have at the moment. Now, since our fifth term is given, it means the value n, which represents the number of terms, is 5. Now, we can recall from this equation, Tn equals AR, all in bracket raised to the power n minus 1. Here, it affects R. It implies that when we substitute this into our equation, we are going to have 48, which is replacing the Tn, equals 3 times the R, which we don't know yet, all to the power 5 minus 1, where the 5 represents the number of terms. So it means that 48 is equal to 3 times R raised to the power 4. We are solving the value of R, we divide, so we multiply, and then we divide through by 3. That leaves our R to be equal to 40. R raised to the power 4 to be equal to 48 divided by 3. And we simplify that, our R4, or our R raised to the power 4, equals 16. Right, since we want to make sure the bases are the same, when we simplify our R raised to the power 4 equals 2 raised to the power 4. It means that our value D, or our answer D in the question, is the right solution. Question 13 says we should solve this equation. We solve 1 over 3 multiplying 5 minus 3x, all in brackets, less than 2 over 5, all in brackets, multiplying 3 minus 7x. These are our possible solutions in A, B, C, and D. What is the right solution? First, we need to state down our equation. And then second, we look for the LCM of 3 and 5, which are the denominators of each side. That's so the right side and denominator is 3 on it. On the right side, sorry, the denominator is 5, and on the left side, the denominator is 3. So here the LCM is 15. We multiply through by 15, as we can see in the second method, less than as the right-hand side. Then this 3 divides 15, 5 divides 15. That results in a solution of 5 multiplying 5 minus 3x, or less than 5 goes into 15. 3 times 2 is 6, multiplying all in bracket 3 minus 7x. We simplify down. We simplify that 5 by 5 is 25. 5 times negative 3x is negative 15x, less than 18 minus 42x. And then here we group like terms. So we group like terms, all the variables with their coefficient comes to the left-hand side, and all the values go to the right-hand side. That would simplify as 27 less than negative 7. We divide through by 27, and that leaves our answer as x less than negative 7 over 12. Means that the right answer for this is answer number D. That is the right answer. Question 14. Make M the subject of the relation K equals, and then all the square root of a fraction M minus Y all over M plus 1. These are possible solutions in A, B, C, and D. Let's look at the right solution. So our solution here, we have K equals all in roots of a fraction M minus Y over M plus 1. Square both sides so that we can eliminate the square root, and then we are having K squared equals all in bracket, all roots of the fraction, M minus Y over M plus 1. Now that we've taken care of the square roots, our next method gives us K raised to the power 2 equals M minus Y over M plus 1. We cross multiply where K2 is over 1. So when we cross multiply that, M plus 1 multiplies K2 equals M minus 1. And then we multiply through. So we multiply through, as we see here, we have K2 minus M plus 1 equals M minus Y. This will result. Now, since we are trying to make M the subject, we collect all the M's at one side, and then we collect the other values at the other side, because we are trying to group like terms. This will be our result. K2M and minus M equals Y minus K squared. When we simplify that can group, we can factor out the M, leaving us K2 minus 1 equals negative Y minus K squared. We divide through by K2 minus 1, as we can see here. And that results in M. In the next method we see here, cancel out the K2 in the left-hand side, and that gives us M equals this. This will mean that our M equals minus Y plus K2 all over K2 minus 1. If we remove the minus side from the right-hand side, we multiply the numerator and denominator by minus. And then after this multiplication, M equals minus, and multiplied by this value in the bracket, and then same for the numerator. Our final answer now is M equals Y plus K2 all over K2 plus 1. And that is the result for B. So our right answer here, the question is B. Is find the quadratic equation whose roots are 1/2 and -1/3. So these are the possible solutions. Let's look at the right solution. So these are the given roots based on the question we've been given. Then we need to find a formula to solve this quadratic equation. You could recall that x squared plus the sum of roots of x plus the product of roots equals 0. This, when we simplify that, is now we means that we have to find the sum and then we find the product. So the sum of that, which is the root given, it's 1/2 plus -1/3. When we simplify, we are going to get 1/2 minus 1/3. Find the LCM is 6. And we solve for that. And then that is going to give us 2 into 6, giving us 3 times 1, 3 minus 3 into 6, giving us 2, 2 times 1 is 2. 3 minus 2/6 is 1/6. And we find the product of the root, which is 1/2 times -1/3, giving us -1/6. This will imply that substituting our product result, our product of root result, and our sum of root result into the main equation, we are going to have x squared plus 1/6x plus -1/6 equals 0. Then simplify that. X squared plus x/6, because x times 1, then positive times negative is negative over 1/6 equals 0. We multiply through by 6 to clear the fractions off, and that gives us 6 times x squared plus 6 times x/6 minus 6 times 1/6 equals 0. And that will result as x squared plus x minus 1 equals 0. Let's look at the next solution. In question 16, we have given that x is directly proportional to y and inversely proportional to z. Here x equals 15, y equals 10, and z equals 4. Find the equation. So we have this as our possible solution. So our solution, we know that x is directly proportional to y, which is inversely proportional to z. So we have our x directly proportional to y, inversely proportional to z. We simplify that, it means that x is equal to ky over z. We can call that equation 1. But we know that x equals 15, y equals 10, and z equals 4. When we substitute those values into the equation, our results now, x equals 15, which is now 15 equals k times the 10, which is replacing y, over 4, which is z. By virtue of cross multiplication, we are going to have the 4 by the 15 giving us 60, and then k times 10 giving us 10k. So 10k equals 60. Means when we divide through by 10, we are going to have our k equals 6. This result implies that now that we know the value of k, we can substitute it into equation 1, as we see here. And that means that our value x equals 6y over z. And that solution, x, which is equals 6y minus over z, is the right solution for A. So here, A is the right solution. Question 17. 2 buses start from the same station at 9 a.m. and travels in opposite direction along the same straight road. The first bus travels at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour, and the second at 48 kilometers per hour. At what time would they be 240 kilometers apart? These are our possible solutions in A, B, C, and D. What then is the right solution? So we know that the speed of 72 kilometers per hour, kilometers per hour can be represented in this way, implies that bus A will travel 72 kilometers in 1 hour. So for every hour, bus A travels 72 kilometers. Now the speed of 48 kilometers per hour also implies that bus B will travel 48 kilometers per every hour. Now that we have the understanding of that, since they are all traveling at the same hour, that will be 72 plus 48 kilometers apart. What it implies that for the two buses, they are traveling together, or summing up, they are traveling at 120 kilometers apart in every hour, or in 1 hour. It means that if we want to find the time they traveled in 2 hours, right, then that will be, because from 9 a.m. we want to find 240 kilometers apart. It means that since we have 120 dividing the 240, which we want to find out is 2 hours apart. Because for every hour it's 120 kilometers. That is when we sum out the speed of the two buses. Hence, if they should travel at 240 kilometers apart, that will be 9 a.m. plus 2 hours. And that will give us 11 a.m. So it means that our right solution for this question is question number C. Sorry, it's answer number C. So answer number C becomes the right solution. Question 18. A solid cube has length 7 centimeters, width 5 centimeters, and height 4 centimeters. Calculate its total surface area. So these are our possible solutions. Let's look at the right solution. So for this solution, we are going to have a solid cube, which is represented in a 3D format. We know that our length is 7 centimeters. And then with a cube, all the lengths are the same. Our width is 5 centimeters. With a cube, all the width are the same. And then our height is 4 centimeters as well. With a cube, all the heights are the same. Since we know that, we can now look for the surface area, which is equal to the area of the faces of the cube. In this sense, it's a 3D shape. A cube has 6 faces, with 2 faces equal to each other. So this implies that our surface area, which we are looking for, first surface area 1, is 7 times 4 centimeters squared, which is going to give us 28 centimeters squared, plus the 1 at the back, because there are 2 faces. So the 7 times the first surface area times the 1 behind it. So that is 28 plus 28, because they have the same surface area. That's going to give us 56 centimeters squared. Then the surface area 2 is equal to 4 times 5 centimeters squared. Don't forget each. So we solve for the front surface. Now we are solving for the other surface. That is the height, which is the 4 times the 5. And that results, as we can see, 20, and the 1 at the back giving us 40 centimeters squared. The surface area for the next face is 7 times 5, which is equal to 35. 35 centimeters plus the 1 at the back, giving us 70 centimeters squared, because it's 35 plus 35. Now, when we add all the total surface area, that is surface area 1 plus surface area 2 plus surface area 3, that is 56 plus 40 plus 70 centimeters square. Our final result is 166 centimeters square. So in this case, possible answer B is the right solution. Question 19. We have a diagram as we see where the line PQ, the line PQ is these first two lines. It's equivalent to the line QSR, which is the second line. Find the value of X. So here we label our diagram. The PQ is the first, and then SR is the second. Then we can create another line in the middle. We can call that line T. Here, our angle P is X degrees, our angle X is 68 degrees. But the angle running from P to X is 246 degrees. So let's look at the solution. Here, angle TOS, which is the center here, TOS, is alternate to the angle X, which is 68. It means that here we can call it Z, as we see here, is 68 degrees. And when we sum up the total of TOS, which is angle Z, and then TOP, which is angle Y, plus the 246, this should sum up to give us 360, which is the sum of angles in a circle. Means we have 68 degrees plus 1 plus 246 degrees, which is equal to 360 degrees. This will result in making the value of Y subject or solving for Y. We have 360 minus 246 minus 60. And that gives us 360 minus 340 degrees. It means our value Y is 46 degrees. So here, the possible answer B is the right solution. Now, since X and Y are also X degree and Y degree, as you can see in the diagram here, are also alternate angles. It means the value of X is equal to the value of Y. And since we know for Y, it means the same value implied for X. It means X is also 46 degrees. It says find the equation, question 20. Find the equation of the line parallel to 2y equals 3 minus 2x, all in bracket, multiplying 3, and passes through the point 2, 3. These are possible solutions. Let's look at the right solution. So the right solution, we know that an equation passes, the equation form of a line passes through the point x1, y1, and it's of the gradient m. Here the grade, so we know this as our standard formula for equation of a line. It can be this or that. This has been simplified as this. Since we know that, it implies that our x1, y1 is 2, 3 respectively. In the sense, first value is x, second value is y. Gain x1 is 2, y1 is 3. It means we are looking for m. We need to find a gradient in order to find the equation of the line. So when we substitute 2 and 3 into the equation, we are going to have our 2y equals 3 multiplying x minus 1, which is the first line. So we simplify that. So we don't substitute. That is the question for the first line. We divide both sides by 2, and that gives us y equals 3 over 2x minus 3. We compare this equation to the equation of a straight line, which is y equals mx plus c. When we do that comparison, we realize that the value, when we compare this to this, we realize that the value y, which is mx plus c, is 3/2. This will imply that we can now substitute the values of x1, which is 2, 3. We substitute that into the equation. In the first equation that we record, our value now is y minus 3 equals 3/2, which we found as the new gradient equals x minus 2. Then that means that we can now solve and simplify. So here, y minus 3 equals 3/2x minus 3. We want to go away with the denominator, so we divide through by 2. And that's, sorry, we don't go out, we group like terms, sorry. That gives us y equals 3/2x minus negative minus 3 plus 3. And that means our value y equals 3x/2. This becomes the answer. So that means our possible answer C in question 20 is the right solution.